On July 16th at 11:44 p.m., Archangel Michael and Uriel will reveal who secretly betrayed you. This is your only chance to see the truth before it vanishes. Open now. On the night of July 16th, at exactly 11:44 p.m., a sacred veil will part. In the divine moment, Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel will come forth together, one as the warrior of truth, the other as the bringer of divine light. They have chosen this hour because betrayal has reached its boiling point in your life. You've been asking why the energy around you feels heavy, why people you once trusted seem to move in shadows, and why blessings have been delayed. Tonight, heaven responds. This isn't about suspicion or fear. It's about facts who cause the facts. The betrayal is not just recent, it is spiritual, seeded long ago, and it's been hiding behind masks of care, affection, or even loyalty. Michael has been watching closely, and Uriel has illuminated the path toward this truth. Together, they are ready to expose who dimmed your light, who laughed when you cried in secret, and who cloaked harm beneath friendship. You were never crazy. Your soul has been whispering the truth all along, but you lacked confirmation, until now. The betrayal may come from someone close, someone you still communicate with, or even someone you've already forgiven but didn't know was still pulling spiritual threads behind your back. This isn't just about being hurt. It's about being spiritually shackled without knowing it. The betrayal delayed your money, slowed your healing, and confused your discernment. Tonight is the reckoning. At exactly 11:44 p.m., Michael will lift the sword, and Uriel will cast divine fire on deception. The illusion will collapse. You will see names, faces, signs, and timelines unfold. Be spiritually ready, because if you miss this window, the truth will slide back into hiding. This is not a threat. It's a prophecy. Only those aligned in truth will receive the vision clearly. The pain you've endured wasn't random. It was orchestrated. But heaven doesn't allow evil to hide forever. Divine justice is arriving. This message is your call to rise, reclaim, and awaken before the final hour strikes. The betrayal may have broken you, but tonight, the truth will rebuild you. Type I am shielded to get the blessing 4488. You may not have seen it with your physical eyes, but the betrayal has been unfolding in the spiritual realm for months, possibly even years. Archangel Michael has recorded every word spoken behind your back, every moment someone misused your kindness, and every time you were targeted when you were most vulnerable. He did not act sooner because divine timing is perfect. Tonight, the truth is no longer hidden. It is ready to be shown. Uriel has been casting his light into dark corners, revealing what was done in secret. You may feel chills as you read this. That's not fear, it's recognition. Your spirit is waking up to what it has known all along. Michael says they called it harmless, but it was calculated. The betrayal came from someone who knew your dreams and planted spiritual thorns among them. You've been entangled in confusion because they prayed for you with one hand and cursed you with the other. Type I am rising to get the blessing 4896. At 11:44 p.m., this person's identity will not only be revealed, but the spiritual damage they caused will be reversed. You'll notice signs even before the hour strikes: unexplained headaches, technology glitches, sudden emotional shifts. These are indicators of spiritual interference beginning to surface. Michael is removing the protection around the betrayer, and what was concealed will erupt into plain sight. Whether it's a close friend, a romantic partner, a coworker, or a family member, you will know without doubt. This revelation isn't just to satisfy curiosity. It's to free you. You cannot rise while invisible chains bind you to those who pretend to support you but sabotage you when you're not looking. Archangel Uriel says your life path hath been delayed, not because you lacked effort, but because a spiritual anchor was tied to your energy. Every time you tried to move forward, their invisible resentment pulled you backward. I'm anointed to get blessing 9,999. You've likely experienced fatigue that didn't match your workload, sadness that didn't belong to you, or guilt that seemed unjustified. These are symptoms of psychic interference. The person who betrayed you did so with intentional spiritual malice or passive energy that was darkened by jealousy. Either way, heaven sees no difference between intentional harm and tolerated toxicity. The time for separation has come. Michael says, this is not a time to beg for truth. It is time to receive it. What you must understand is that your intuition was never wrong. Your dreams, your gut feelings, the moments of sudden discomfort around certain people, those were your warnings. But now, the angels are intervening directly. At 11:44 p.m., you'll be given clarity that no one can twist or deny. Prepare yourself. The one who betrayed you may try to reach out just before the revelation hits. That message, that call, or that sudden memory popping into your head, don't ignore it. It's part of the unraveling. They may even act kind or apologetic. But Michael warns, deception always disguises itself in empathy. Do not let false peace distract you from the truth heaven is revealing. Uriel will activate divine exposure. Their actions, their motivations, their envy, and even the exact moments they acted against you will flash in front of your spiritual eyes. It will be sharp. It may sting. But afterward, you will feel an energetic shift so powerful that your body may physically react. Crying, chills, even laughter from release. That is your soul breaking free from invisible bondage. I am awakened to get blessing 5,720. Archangel Michael wants you to know that heaven has never been silent about what's been happening to you. Every time you felt drained after speaking to someone, every time your joy mysteriously vanished after sharing good news, every time your peace collapsed after trusting someone, these were signals. The betrayer has been close, too close, and their energy has tangled with yours in more ways than you realize. It's why you felt confused, restless, and misaligned even while trying to stay in divine purpose. Your spiritual radar has been trying to sound the alarm, but the betrayer is skilled in masking. They blend support with subtle sabotage. They say the right things but carry the wrong frequency. One day, they lift you up, and the next, they disappear when you need them most. Michael says this spiritual inconsistency is not normal. It's engineered. It is meant to keep you dependent and spiritually weaken. I am chosen to get blessing 6,811. Uriel adds that the betrayer has likely mirrored your energy. They copied your words, your style, your goals, even your pain stories, just to remain close. They didn't do it to admire you. They did it to extract your spiritual codes. That's why you often feel exhausted after interactions. They've been taking your light, draining your inner fire, and walking away as if nothing happened. Archangel Michael calls them a spiritual leech. And at 11:44 p.m., that leech will be cut off. You must understand, betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it's hidden in silence, in withheld support, in secret comparisons, in quiet envy. Heaven does not wait for earthly confession. Uriel's fire will expose all. And if you've been feeling physically ill, emotionally unstable, or overwhelmed for no logical reason, it's likely because your soul has been absorbing poison through false connections. Type I am protected to get blessing 7544. There's a reason the angels are urgent now. Your destiny is nearing a turning point, and if you remain tethered to this betrayer, their downfall could become your delay. You were never meant to walk the next chapter of your life with people who sabotage you behind closed doors. This next season requires loyalty in spirit, not just in words. Michael is clearing the battlefield so your soul can move without interference. Pay attention to recurring names, faces in dreams, or sudden arguments. These are divine clues. The betrayer is being spiritually exposed little by little before the full unveiling. You might notice people distancing themselves, or suddenly showing strange kindness. That's not coincidence. That's fear. The darkness inside them knows the light is approaching and judgment is near. Do not fear this exposure. Welcome it. The angels are not just here to point fingers. They are here to lift you. After this revelation, your energy will reset. You'll begin to feel alive again. Projects that were stuck will move. Prayers that were delayed will be answered. It's not just about knowing who the betrayer is. It's about finally being spiritually unchained. If this word has stirred your spirit and ignited boldness within you, consider showing your support with a super thanks of $20. Your generosity empowers us to continue releasing prophetic guidance, clarity, and strength to those journeying from betrayal to blessing. You can also support our mission through PayPal donation by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every contribution makes a meaningful impact and helps us keep creating and sharing with you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine instruction, heavenly insight, and spirit-led guidance designed for your breakthrough. Type I am delivered to get blessing 8202. Archangel Uriel speaks now with radiant fire. The one who betrayed you did not expect heaven to act on your behalf. They believed their mask was convincing enough to fool both man and spirit. They blended into your life so effortlessly, so patiently, that you mistook their performance for presence. But no mask can last under divine flame. At 11:44 p.m., that mask will shatter, and what lies beneath it will be undeniable. The betrayal will no longer be a question. It will be a truth too loud to ignore. Michael confirms, their smile was calculated, their silence strategic. They learned what wounded you so they could use it against you in secret. In public, they celebrated you. In private, they diminished you. This kind of betrayal leaves spiritual bruises that linger, energetic cuts that reopen when you try to rise again. That's why each time you tried to advance, something held you back. It wasn't you. It was them. Type I am rising to get the blessing 8640. The angels have reviewed every hidden word, every energy exchange, every intention that was wrapped in deception. Some of these betrayals weren't physical. They were spiritual contracts made through envy, jealousy, or mockery. The betrayer may not have spoken curses out loud, but they planted energetic daggers in your field. The angels saw, and now they will reveal. Uriel says, their power only existed in your trust. Once the truth comes out, their hold will collapse. This is not punishment. It is purification. Heaven never allows deceit to thrive in the life of a chosen soul forever. The reason this moment is so critical is because the truth is time-sensitive. If you do not see it clearly tonight, the enemy may try to reattach themselves under another form: friendship, romance, opportunity. Type I am restored to get blessing 9113. Your dreams may already be showing signs. The betrayer may appear in symbolic forms: snakes, crumbling faces, broken mirrors. Pay attention. These are coded messages from the angelic realm. Michael reminds you that divine protection often feels like isolation before the truth is delivered. That's why you felt distant from others lately. It was the angels clearing the noise so the truth could echo. At 11:44 p.m., expect confirmation. It may come through a sudden message, a slip of the tongue, a memory flooding back, or even spiritual vision. Do not dismiss it. You'll know because the moment will bring a strange peace, even if the truth stings. That is your soul being realigned. Heaven never reveals to harm, it reveals to heal. The betrayer may attempt damage control after they are exposed. They may accuse you of being oversensitive or delusional. This is a classic tactic of spiritual manipulators. Do I fall for it? Michael says, the guilty always fear the awakening of the one they bound. Your awakening terrifies them. That's why they fought so hard to confuse your intuition. Let the light do what it must. You are not alone in this unveiling. Michael's sword will break soul ties. Uriel's fire will cauterize spiritual wounds. You will not only see who betrayed you, you will walk away freer than you've ever been before. Type I am set free to get blessing 9355. There are forces moving behind the scenes right now, shifting divine evidence into your hands. Archangel Uriel is illuminating a timeline. Moments you overlooked, conversations you forgot, and behaviors you once excused. These are not random memory surfacing. They are spiritual breadcrumbs heaven is dropping to help you trace the betrayal to its roots. What was once vague and cloudy is about to become crystal clear. You will not only know who, it will all begin to make sense. Michael speaks boldly. Everything hidden is surfacing by divine force. This is not revenge. This is restoration. When the betrayer sowed lies and illusions into your atmosphere, they didn't expect the angels to gather evidence. But heaven hath been keeping receipts. Energetic imprints of betrayal cannot be erased. And now, those vibrations are rising up to be judged under divine law. Type I am protected to get the blessing 9788. This exposure is not only personal, it's spiritual justice. You've been walking with fractured trust, questioning your instincts, doubting your path. But Michael says, what you called confusion was interference. What you called hesitation was sabotage. The betrayer didn't just harm you emotionally. They inserted spiritual doubt, poisoned your clarity, and created delay in your destiny. A delay ends now. You may notice strange behaviors intensify before the hour of truth. The betrayer may act erratically, as if their soul knows something is collapsing. And it is. Heaven is stripping away their energetic camouflage. You'll see passive aggression for what it really is. You'll recognize spiritual jealousy that once hid behind fake praise. Uriel is removing the fog. Type I'm untouchable to get blessing 10,092. Even electronics, lights, or mirrors may flicker or crack. These are spiritual disturbances, not technical accidents. When angelic presence becomes strong, dark frequencies react. Don't fear it. Acknowledge it. That's evidence that the realms are aligning for truth to fall like lightning. Expect dreams to intensify. Expect instincts to sharpen. Expect synchronicities to speak louder. This is your courtroom in the spirit realm. You've been falsely judged in silence by someone pretending to support you. But now, heaven puts them on trial. Michael declares, no lie can stand in the presence of divine order. Prepare yourself emotionally. The truth may shock you. It may be someone you trusted blindly. But this pain will give birth to elevation. You're not losing a person. You're shedding a spiritual weight. When the truth is revealed, your energy will shift instantly. Things you couldn't explain. Sudden fear, financial stagnation, emotional fog will start to lift. Uriel is breaking unholy soul cords. Michael is closing invisible portals the betrayer opened. This is deeper than words. It's a rescue mission for your destiny. Let yourself release. Cry if needed. Mourn the illusion. But do not try to rescue the one who betrayed you. That is not your assignment. Your only job now is to witness, accept, and allow the angels to complete the work they began. The betrayer's power dies the moment you stop defending their role in your story. Type I am clean to get blessing 10,507. Archangel Michael warns, the most dangerous betrayal is not loud. It's loyal on the surface, venomous in spirit. You may have missed the signs because they smiled when you won, stood beside you in your storms, and even prayed with you. But deep down, their spirit recoiled at your growth. They wanted your presence, but not your power. They supported your healing, but feared your rising. That's not love. That's hidden warfare dressed in affection. Archangel Uriel says their energy was never in alignment with your destiny. That's why your joy felt short-lived, why your motivation faded suddenly. They carried spiritual interference like a perfume, sweet but toxic. It was subtle. That's how they got so close. But Uriel has now activated discernment within you, a higher level of spiritual sight. Tonight, that sight will magnify the truth. Type I am separated to get blessing 10,888. They clung to your light like moths, but inwardly, they resented the fire you carried. Whenever you shared a vision, they offered lukewarm encouragement. When you succeeded, they smiled but rarely celebrated. They gave you advice that sounded wise, yet it always caused delay. Michael says, they disguised sabotage as concern. And that is exactly why your soul remained entangled, because you couldn't imagine the betrayal would come from them. Uriel says this exposure is necessary, not optional. If you continue to keep space for them in your field, you will not rise at the pace you are meant to. The betrayer is not just a person. They are a spiritual weight. Their hidden words, their private criticisms, their jealousy disguised as jokes, all of it sent energetic thorns into your field. That's why healing felt incomplete, because the source of the wound was still in the root. Type I am cleansed to get blessing 11,220. You've already begun to feel it. Your body reacts when they're around. Maybe it's a tension in your chest, a heavy silence, a shift in your mood that you couldn't explain. That's not social discomfort. That's spiritual misalignment. The angels were trying to warn you through your own nervous system. You just didn't realize it was divine intelligence. Now, Michael and Uriel are preparing to tear the veil completely. What they will reveal at 11:44 p.m. is not meant to shame you for trusting. It is meant to awaken your authority. You have allowed guilt to block clarity. You stayed connected out of habit, pity, or hope that they would change. But Michael says, they will not change under your covering. You must remove your light. Once exposed, they will likely act surprised. Some may even accuse you of arrogance or blame your growth for the separation. That is manipulation. Uriel says, those who lose access to your anointing will always rewrite the narrative. Let them. Your only assignment is to rise in truth, not to convince them of it. This isn't just the end of a toxic connection. It's the rebirth of your voice, your clarity, your movement. The spiritual fog that spin over your life will lift. And where confusion once lived, confidence will emerge. You are not stepping into isolation. You are stepping into divine insulation. Type I'm rising again to get blessing 11,666. Archangel Uriel stands at your side now, holding the scroll of truth that contains every moment heaven protected you, even when you had no idea danger was near. You've been walking through spiritual storms with people who invited the thunder. They didn't just betray you once, they continually siphoned your peace. Michael says, they created chaos in your life and then acted like your comfort. But the illusion has expired. The divine reset is beginning, and with it, a cutting away of what can't travel with you. This reset is not punishment. It's alignment. The exposure that is coming at 11:44 p.m. will realign your energy so precisely that you'll wonder how you ever tolerated the interference. You will not just see the betrayer. You will feel the absence of their draining influence. Your breath will feel deeper. Your thoughts will move faster. Your spirit will feel lighter. That is freedom, and it is arriving swiftly. Type I am realigned to get blessing 12,001. Michael emphasizes that this reset must happen before your next level unfolds. Without it, your energy will remain looped in spiritual sabotage. The betrayer delayed divine timing, but the angels are redeeming the clock. Time that was stolen from you will now return in the form of favor. Doors that wouldn't open will suddenly swing wide. Resources, relationships, revelations, all will rush toward you after the deceiver is removed. Uriel adds that your emotional attachments are not excuses to tolerate spiritual corruption. This person may have comforted you during hardship, but that doesn't erase what they did when you weren't watching. This is not about bitterness. It's about boundaries. Their role in your life was a test of discernment, and now you are passing it. Heaven only reveals when it's time to release. Type I am purified to get blessing 12,277. Be prepared. After the revelation, you may feel an urge to isolate. That's okay. Your soul will need space to recalibrate without the betrayer's energy clouding your inner voice. Use this time to reconnect with your spiritual roots. Cleanse your space. Write. Pray. Breathe. Let the new you settle in. You are not falling apart. You are shedding what never belonged. You may be tempted to warn others about the betrayer, to speak your truth aloud. But Michael cautions. Revelation is for your protection, not their punishment. Let heaven handle justice. You stay focused on your realignment. Your destiny is too valuable to be distracted by proving anything to anyone. Let your healing be your loudest statement. And when the betrayer tries to re-enter, because they will, you will feel it before it happens. A heaviness in the chest. A dull ache in the gut. A sudden emotional shift. That's your warning. Don't second guess at this time. Uriel says, your body knows the truth before your mind does. Honor it. You've completed a spiritual cycle. This is the reset. Not just from betrayal, but from all that was tied to it. The stagnation, the self-doubt, the spiritual exhaustion. You are entering a space where only truth can breathe. And the air will be clearer than it's been in years. Type I am made new to get blessing 12,701. Archangel Michael says, the moment the truth is revealed, your soul will activate at a higher frequency. This isn't just about knowing who betrayed you. It's about who you become the moment they lose access to your energy. Your spiritual posture will shift. Your voice will sound different. Your presence will feel more potent. That's because heaven never allows exposure without transformation. The old you trusted blindly. The new you will discern without apology. Archangel Uriel is already reshaping your spiritual environment. He's preparing a field around you that blocks psychic interference and stops manipulative spirits at the door. You may notice people suddenly falling silent, invitations disappearing, or strange tension in familiar circles. That is not loss. That is filtering. Heaven is cleaning the room before the blessing arrives. Not everyone can stand in the radiance of your true self. Type I am evolving to get blessing 13,093. Michael reveals that the betrayal was more than an act of jealousy. It was a spiritual attempt to delay your divine recognition. The betrayer feared your awakening, because when you know who you are, you become impossible to control. They tried to confuse your identity so you would never activate your full anointing. But heaven has intervened. That interference has expired. The next version of you will no longer shrink. Uriel confirms that clarity is one of the first gifts after spiritual betrayal. And it won't just apply to the one who harmed you. It will spread like fire into every area of your life. You'll make faster decisions. You'll stop over-explaining. You'll feel instinctively what aligns and what doesn't. This clarity isn't arrogance. It's survival. You've suffered long enough from blurred lines. Now your sight returns. Type I am whole to get blessing 13,444. You are no longer carrying shame for what you allowed. That was part of your old spiritual contract, thinking you had to endure to be worthy. Michael tears that contract now. You were never meant to bleed silently just to prove your love. That's not divine sacrifice. That's spiritual manipulation. The betrayer took advantage of your loyalty, but your loyalty will now return to its rightful source, your own healing and divine mission. Uriel wants you to understand something deeply. The betrayal didn't stop your destiny and delaying your clarity. But delays are not denials. What's coming is still yours. In fact, it will arrive quicker now, because the hidden drain has been removed. Energy will return to you. Ideas will rush in. Financial shifts will begin. And peace, pure, uninterrupted peace, will finally enter your atmosphere. The days ahead may feel unfamiliar. That's okay. You're walking without the weight. Your joy may feel strange at first, like wearing freedom for the first time in too long. But lean into it. This is the natural state your soul was designed for. The betrayer never deserved your light. And now that they're gone, that light can finally shine in full power. Type I am unshaken to get blessing 13,822. Archangel Michael says the sword of divine justice has already been lifted. While you read this, the heavens are aligning to execute what has been delayed, blocked, or withheld from you. The betrayer thought they were clever. They acted under the illusion that your silence was weakness. But Michael confirms, your silence was protection. Heaven was preparing the battlefield, and now, the final blow will be delivered, not by your hands, but by divine decree. Archangel Uriel reveals that spiritual law is now activated. The betrayer will begin to feel the collapse of everything they built with stolen energy. Their influence will fade. Their plans will unravel. Their favor will dry up. Why? Because what they stole from your atmosphere wasn't just time or trust, it was sacred power. And no one steals from the chosen without consequences. Type I am covered to get blessing 14,090. This isn't about revenge. Heaven doesn't operate through petty wrath. This is restoration. Uriel says the scales are being balanced. For every tear you cried in confusion, you will receive revelation. For every moment of stagnation caused by their interference, acceleration will follow. This is divine compensation for spiritual warfare endured in silence. What once felt like loss will now turn to gain. Michael warns, the betrayer may enter a season of sudden misfortune. Don't let that shake your compassion, but do not interfere either. When spiritual justice strikes, observers must remain still. You are not assigned to fix what heaven is dismantling. You are to watch and learn. Your protection came at a price. Let heaven finish what it started. Type I am restored fully to get blessing 14,418. You may even feel an odd sense of peace during their collapse. That is not cruelty. It is closure. Your spirit is not rejoicing in pain. It's rejoicing in freedom. You're no longer carrying the burden of pretending someone was safe when they weren't. That clarity is liberating. Let it settle. This moment is sacred. It's the answer to prayers you forgot you prayed. Uriel instructs you to prepare for sudden shifts. Things you've been praying about for months. Breakthroughs, relationships, finances will begin to move quickly. The reason: the spiritual interference is gone. You've been trying to fly with your wings tied. Now you will soar. This is why the betrayal had to be revealed. Your future required it. You are not the same person who entered this season. You have become sharper, wiser, and more spiritually fortified. Michael says you're entering a phase of divine precision. Your words will carry authority, your presence will shift atmospheres, and your silence will speak louder than explanations. This is what happens when heaven fights for you. You emerge transformed. Let the betrayal stay buried. Let the truth stand tall. You are walking into divine fire now, not to be burned, but to be baptized into your next level. The pain has served its purpose. Now let purpose take its place. If this word has stirred your spirit and ignited boldness within you, consider showing your support with a super thanks of $20. Your generosity empowers us to continue releasing prophetic guidance, clarity, and strength to those journeying from betrayal to blessing. You can also support our mission through PayPal donation by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every contribution makes a meaningful impact and helps us keep creating and sharing with you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine instruction, heavenly insight, and spirit-led guidance designed for your breakthrough. Type I am renewed to get blessing 14,900. Archangel Michael speaks firmly. Now that the betrayer hath been unmasked, the path that was once blocked is being reopened. For too long, you've been walking in circles, trying to move forward while spiritual resistance pulled you back. You thought it was just bad timing. You thought maybe you weren't ready. But heaven reveals now, it wasn't you. It was them. The moment their energy is removed, your divine direction begins to flow again. Archangel Uriel shows a new timeline unfolding, one that was delayed by sabotage, but never destroyed. It still belongs to you. Every divine promise is still waiting, untouched, preserved for this moment. You'll soon begin to feel a sudden shift in momentum, an invisible pressure lifting. That's the power of realignment. The betrayer's shadow no longer covers your light. Type I am aligned to get blessing 15,336. What once felt heavy will now become effortless. Conversations will be clearer. Doors that refused to open will begin to respond. You are not imagining this change. It is real. The divine interruption caused by betrayal hath been severed. Now, the natural flow of your destiny can move again, uninterrupted. This is not just progress. This is restoration. Michael reminds you that the most dangerous delays are not physical, they are spiritual. The betrayer clouded your path with distraction, with emotional clutter, with spiritual static. But Uriel has cleared the interference. You will find yourself making faster decisions, hearing divine instruction with greater clarity, and moving without doubt. This is what it feels like to walk free. Type I am elevated to get blessing 15,661. Heaven is also bringing new people into your life. True allies who carry light, not envy. These connections will feel different. You won't have to beg to be understood. You won't feel drained after engaging. These people will celebrate your growth because they are growing too. This is a reward not just for surviving betrayal, but for healing correctly. Michael says, do not grieve the old path. It led you to the truth. Even your detours were divine. Now that the lesson has been learned and the veil removed, your spirit has been recalibrated. Uriel declares this is your real beginning. Everything before now was a preparation. The actual journey, the one that matches your purpose, is just starting to unfold. And yes, you may feel the sting of starting over. But heaven says it's not really starting over. It's starting correctly. The old path was compromised. This one is pure. You'll find speed where there was slowness, joy where there was confusion, growth where there was stagnation. This is divine redemption in motion. Type I am stepping forward to get blessing 16,004. Archangel Michael now stands before you with a mirror, not of glass, but of revelation. This mirror does not reflect who others said you were. It reveals who you truly are. The one heaven anointed, the one chosen to rise, the one who was always marked by divine light. A betrayal tried to distort this image. It made you question your worth, your purpose, even your power. But Michael declares, no more distortion, no more delay. The true you is returning, fully and without apology. Archangel Uriel affirms that your identity was never lost, only buried beneath the weight of false loyalty. You spent months, maybe years, carrying spiritual confusion that didn't even belong to you. You internalized other people's projections, absorbed their limitations, and doubted your own discernment. But heaven is now removing every veil. The betrayer's influence is being scrubbed from your energy field. Type I am unveiled to get blessing 16,033. This unveiling isn't just emotional, it's energetic. You'll wake up feeling lighter, even if nothing externally has changed yet. That's how spiritual healing works. The first shift is always internal. You'll breathe deeper, laugh more, trust yourself again. Not because the world is safer, but because you are stronger. The betrayal refined you. It didn't break you. It baptized you into boldness. Michael says you must now begin reintroducing yourself to the world, not as a victim, not as someone recovering from deception, but as a spiritually recalibrated leader. You've gained discernment, depth, and divine confidence. Use it. Speak differently. Move differently. Expect more. Your identity is not in the pain. It's in your ability to rise after it. Type I am redefined to get blessing 16,391. You'll notice that some people won't recognize you anymore. Let them be confused. The version of you they manipulated no longer exists. This is a new frequency, and it doesn't require explanation. Let your presence speak what words cannot. Let your peace announce what your voice doesn't have to. Uriel reminds you, those who once ignored your light will soon be silenced by your glow. The betrayer, if they try to return, will meet someone they can no longer access. They may not understand why, but you will. Your energy cannot pass through the walls heaven has now erected around your spirit. You are not cruel for saying no. You are not wrong for stepping away. You are responding to divine protection, and that obedience is your power. This is your moment of return, not just to self, but to the divine rhythm you were always meant to walk in. Your essence is being restored. Your timeline is catching up. Your soul is singing again. And the angels are rejoicing because you finally see yourself the way heaven always has. I'm remembered to get blessing 16,808. Archangel Michael stands with sword drawn, ready to make the final cut. This is the moment when every hidden cord, every spiritual thread, every energetic hook the betrayer placed in your life is severed for good. You've done the emotional work. You faced the pain. You've embraced the truth. Now comes the final act of deliverance. Heaven doesn't just expose. Heaven releases. And Michael is leading this final operation himself. Archangel Uriel says this spiritual core was not just emotional, it was vibrational. It allowed the betrayer to remain connected to your field even after distance was created. That's why you still thought about them. That's why you still felt drained at night. That's why strange dreams returned. But after tonight, that energetic line will be gone. Once Michael's sword falls, they can no longer reach you, physically, spiritually, or psychically. I am severed to get blessing 16,442. This is why it's been so hard to let go. You weren't just breaking a habit. You were breaking a spiritual bond. That's a war, not a decision. You were wrestling against soul memory, not just memories. The betrayer embedded themselves deep into your narrative, not just your schedule. But Uriel reminds you, what was entangled through manipulation cannot be maintained through divine protection. Michael cautions you to prepare for a final test. Right before the full severing, the betrayer may feel the disconnect and attempt one last reach. It could be a messaging, a call, a sudden appearance in a dream. Don't be deceived. This is not coincidence. It's resistance. Darkness always reacts when light breaks its hold. Be unmoved. Be grounded. You're not being cold. You're being called higher. I am untethered to get blessing 16,860. After the final cut, you'll feel an undeniable change in your body. Some describe it as a pressure lifting, others as a burst of spiritual energy, even spontaneous tears or laughter. That's your soul expanding again. Your field is finally cleared. What was once dense is now fluid. You're going to feel joy where there was once numbness. You'll feel peace in spaces where anxiety once whispered. Uriel says, your aura is being sealed in divine light. This means no new attacks from this betrayer will penetrate. Their time in your life has spiritually expired. Even if they try to return, they won't recognize you. You're not who you were when they had access. Your frequency has changed. Your old tactics won't work on this new variant of you. This cutting is also a declaration. You are telling heaven, I choose to move forward. And when heaven hears that, doors open. You'll feel a rush of opportunities, connections, healing moments, and inner awakenings. What was stuck will begin to shift again. The spiritual weight is gone, and your wings are now free. I am released to get blessing 17,234. Archangel Uriel whispers now with urgency. The veil is thinner than ever, and the divine clock is almost at zero. July 16th, 11:44 p.m. is not a metaphor. It's an exact spiritual gateway. That's when the exposure becomes irreversible. That's when Michael delivers the final strike against deception. And that's when your clarity becomes permanent. You won't need to guess anymore. You won't question your intuition. The face of the betrayer will no longer be protected by illusion. Michael confirms that heaven has timed this moment with precision. You've been aligned to receive the full truth only now, because your spirit is finally strong enough to hold it. If this had come earlier, it might have shattered you. But now, it will strengthen you. The exposure won't break your heart. It will confirm what your soul already knew but was too kind to accept. Type I am ready to get blessing 17,555. Leading up to the hour, expect your sensitivity to spike. You might hear things you're not used to hearing, notice patterns in people's speech, or feel sudden resistance around certain names or memories. These are not emotional reactions. They are divine alerts. Uriel says your spiritual senses are being amplified to prepare for the final download. Do not ignore them. Every feeling is a map. Michael adds that in the minutes before 11:44 p.m., time may feel distorted. That's not imagination. It's spiritual acceleration. What's happening in the spirit realm is spilling into the natural. You may notice lights flickering, a temperature shift, or even a complete stillness in the air. These are signs of angelic presence. Don't fear, though. Honor them. You are not alone during this moment. You are surrounded. Type I am aware to get blessing 17,988. At the exact moment, Michael's sword will fall, and Uriel's fire will burn away the last layer of deception. You may receive a name, a memory, a message, or a visual flash. Some experience a flood of clarity, others hear a voice within. However it comes, accept it. It is the confirmation you've been waiting for. And after that moment, things begin to unlock. You'll feel a deep sense of peace wash over you, perhaps for the first time in months or even years. That's the signal. It means the betrayal has been spiritually disconnected. It means your energy is yours again. It means heaven has handed you the evidence, and the burden of guessing is finally over. Uriel reminds you that what happens after the revelation is just as important as the revelation itself. Don't fall back into old patterns. Don't invite old energy back into new space. This clarity is not just for freedom, it's for direction. It's meant to guide your next move. So move wisely. Your path is sacred now. Type I am transformed to get blessing 18,266. The moment of truth has passed. You've seen what needed to be seen. The veil was lifted, the betrayer exposed, and the deception removed. Now, heaven shifts its focus toward what happens after. Archangel Michael says, exposure is only the beginning. How you respond defines the next season. You must now walk in the wisdom you've earned. Do not return to what was removed. Do not explain the truth to those who benefit from your confusion. This is your hour to protect the clarity you've been gifted. Archangel Uriel urges stillness in the days following the revelation. The spirit realm is still settling. The energy around you is recalibrating. You may feel detached from certain people, uncomfortable in certain places, or even disinterested in things you once enjoyed. That's not depression, it's transformation. You are no longer vibrating on the same frequency. What once matched your wounds no longer matches your healed self. Type I am renewed daily to get blessing 18,420. Michael says it plainly. After betrayal, most return to old cycles because it feels familiar. But familiarity is not safety, it's entrapment. You have been given divine release. Don't let emotional memory sabotage your new beginning. The enemy's final tactic is always guilt, to make you feel responsible for the pain of those who harmed you. Reject that. You are not responsible for their choices. You are responsible for your rising. Uriel reminds you that healing isn't always loud. You don't need to announce your boundaries. You don't need to explain your distance. Your growth will speak volumes. People who once dismissed your discernment will begin to see your strength as uncomfortable, But that's their reflection, not your problem. Protect your light. You worked too hard to get it back. Type I am rooted to get blessing 18,666. Expect resistance even from within. Old triggers might resurface. The betrayer might show signs of regret or remorse. That's not always repentance, it's panic. They are sensing the full departure of your energy. Stay grounded. Michael says, a closed door must remain sealed to keep the serpent out. You're not being cruel. You're honoring your rebirth. As you move forward, you'll find yourself making faster, clearer decisions. Opportunities will come, but this time, you'll discern their origin. Every choice now holds more weight, because you shed the blindfold. Let that awareness guide you, not fear. Uriel assures you, your soul knows the way now. Trust it. This period is sacred. A holy recovery. A reintroduction to the world as your authentic self. Don't rush. Don't explain. Just embody. The betrayal didn't break you. It revealed you. And now, heaven celebrates the version of you who chose the light, even while walking through the dark. Type I am guided forward to get blessing 18,772. Archangel Uriel now announces a shift in your soul frequency. What took place at 11:44 p.m. didn't just end betrayal, it initiated an upgrade. This upgrade is not physical, though your body will feel it. It is not emotional, though your heart will heal. It is spiritual, and because of it, you will never again be tricked, tied, or spiritually drained by those carrying secret darkness. Uriel says, you have leveled up in the spirit realm, and with it comes authority you've never held before. Michael confirms this upgrade will be felt before it is seen. You'll wake up and know things you haven't studied. You'll feel the intentions behind people's words before they finish their sentences. You'll sense opportunities, threats, energy shifts, all before they manifest. This is the reward of surviving betrayal without surrendering to bitterness. Heaven always upgrades those who choose truth over vengeance. Type I am ascending to get blessing 19,077. You are now operating from a frequency few understand. That means not everyone will celebrate this new version of you. Some will say you've changed. Others may fall away quietly. Let them. This upgrade comes with divine filtering. The light in you now irritates the darkness they once kept hidden. Michael says, stop mourning the reactions of people not assigned to your future. Uriel wants you to trust the strange sensations you may feel. Sudden heat, waves of clarity, even moments of stillness in the middle of chaos. These are not coincidences. They are activations. Heaven is sending spiritual downloads, aligning your voice, your body, and your space to the new frequency. Listen. Honor the messages. Bow the flow. Type I am in divine flow to get blessing 19,202. You may also feel drawn to change your space. Woo things. Burn sage. Open windows. Rearrange what surrounds you. That urge is spiritual. You're no longer compatible with clutter, physical or energetic. Don't resist the instinct to purify. What surrounds you must now match what's inside of you. Order, clarity, light, and truth. Michael reminds you that with new authority comes new tests. Some people from your past may try to return under new disguises, offering opportunities, apologies, or familiar comfort. Don't fall into emotional traps. You're not being tested to punish you. You're being tested to prove to heaven you're ready to keep rising. Your voice, now anointed, carries power. Speak with purpose. Declare what belongs to you. right visions. Walk with confidence. The war you endured earned you more than healing. It earned you spiritual rank. That rank now opens doors, aligns favor, and accelerates timing. You are not rebuilding. You are ruling. Type I am upgraded to get blessing 19,511. Archangel Michael now sounds the trumpet. The old is gone. The ties are cut. The veil is torn. This is not just a symbolic transition. It is a permanent one. Your betrayal was the final test. And you passed. You saw the truth, embraced it, and didn't flinch. And now, heaven launches you into a new era. Not just a season, but a divine era. And in the space, only what is aligned can remain. Uriel says this new era will come with acceleration you've never experienced. Things that took months will take days. What seemed impossible will arrive easily. You're no longer moving through resistance. You're being pulled by destiny. It's a divine current, and it's fueled by truth, obedience, and clarity. That's why betrayal had to come first. It unlocked the gate. Type I am launched to get blessing 19,884. You'll start to notice a divine rhythm return to your life. Peace without explanation. Insight without overthinking. Boldness without conflict. That's not just recovery. It's the rhythm of the chosen. Heaven has resynced your spiritual clock. You are now walking in time with divine will, and because of that, your steps will be confirmed again and again. Michael instructs you to pay close attention to sudden shifts. Relationships ending. Calls you don't feel like answering. Emails you suddenly feel led to delete. These are not emotional wins. These are prompts from the angelic realm. Follow them. Your soul knows what must go. Don't reason with discernment. Respond to it. Type I am synchronized to get blessing 20,123. In this new era, opportunities will meet you. People of light will seek you out. You won't have to chase what belongs to you. The spiritual debt from your season of betrayal is being paid in full, with favor, with healing, with visibility, and with divine reward. Uriel calls it restoration with interest. You'll feel stronger, lighter, more present. Your laughter will return. Your energy will stabilize. Your dreams will sharpen. It will feel like something inside you has clicked into place, and that's exactly what's happened. The misalignment is over. You are in divine flow. Michael stands guard at your gates now. What hurt you before cannot enter again. That betrayal refined your vision. It unlocked your gatekeeping power. You are no longer vulnerable. You are empowered. Walk boldly. Speak clearly. Expect the best. The era has begun, and it bears your name. Type I am in my era to get blessing 20,399. At exactly 11:44 p.m. on July 16th, what needed to be exposed has been revealed. What was hidden in shadows is now out in the open. The betrayal that haunted your spirit, drained your joy, and confused your clarity no longer has access to you. Archangel Michael's sword has severed the final tie, and Archangel Uriel's flame has purified the residue. You are no longer entangled in their energy. You are no longer silently bleeding from invisible wounds. You are free. This moment marks the final closure of that chapter. Heaven allowed it to unfold not to break you, but to elevate you. The betrayal was the trigger, but your transformation was the true assignment. The angels are proud, not because you endured the pain, but because you chose truth over illusion. You chose yourself, and in doing so, you aligned with the divine timeline that has always been yours. Michael stands beside you now, not just as a protector but as a witness. You watched your heart remain pure when others lied. You watched you pray through confusion, love through pain, and grow even when others tried to stunt your progress. That strength is not lost. It is now multiplied. The heavens are rewarding what you did in silence, in tears, and in obedience. Uriel extends his light to your path. From this moment forward, things will move differently. You'll notice people react to your presence without understanding why. You'll see blessings arrive faster, ideas sharpen, doors open with divine ease. That's because you are now walking in spiritual authority. The betrayer no longer has influence, and their energy no longer has legal access to your story. Your discernment is now refined. You will never be manipulated the same way again. The fog is gone. The loop has ended. You have completed the assignment. All that remains is the rise. Stand tall. Speak boldly. Move unapologetically. You are not the person who entered this battle. You are the one who came out anointed. If this word has stirred your spirit and ignited boldness within you, consider showing your support with a super thanks of $20. Your generosity empowers us to continue releasing prophetic guidance, clarity, and strength to those journeying from betrayal to blessing. You can also support our mission through PayPal donation by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every contribution makes a meaningful impact and helps us keep creating and sharing with you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine instruction, heavenly insight, and spirit-led guidance designed for your breakthrough. Type I am forever free to get blessing 18,888.